Hello, my name is Dr. Syed Wakarsha and you're watching IJS Biology. The topic of today is muscles contraction or sliding filament model. Before starting this model, I would like to tell you something about the structure. There are two bands in the myofibril. The first one is A band, which is dark band, while the second one is called I band, which is thin band and a light band. So this is the arrangement of thick and thin filament. The thin filament is between the thick filament, like that. It's clear. Now this is the first picture when muscles is at relaxed state, and this is the second picture, and the third picture shows you that the muscles has contracted. So this model is called Huxley and Hansen model, and which was presented in 1954. What is the statement of this model? That during contraction, the thin myofilaments slide past over the thick one so that they overlap to a greater degree. Thin filament slide past over the thick filament so that they overlap to greater degree. Now, we know that in the relaxed state, the thick and thin filament overlap only at their ends. In the relaxed state, the thick and thin filaments overlap only by their ends. When the muscles contracted, we know that the two Z lines moves toward each other, or the sarcomere contracted. This contraction produced contraction in the myofibril, which produced contraction in the muscle fiber. We can say that in relaxed shortening of the muscle fiber in turn produced by shortening of myofibril, which results shortening of the distance from Z to Z line. But keep in your mind that during the contraction, sarcomere shorten in length, but the A band do not shorten. Remember, the A band do not shortens, but close together. The second aspect is that the I band decreases in length, but the modern study reveals that the shortening of the sarcomere, is actually sliding of the thin filament over and between the thick filament. This is the modern study says that the contraction occurs due to the sliding of the thin filament over and between the thick filament. This is the Huxley model, and if you summarize this model or in a very easy words, you can say that during the contraction, the two Z lines come closer to each other, A band shortens, H zone and the M line disappears, and during the relaxation, the two Z lines move far apart so that the H zone and the I line appears. So second one is how the cross bridge is formed and what is the control of the cross bridge. We know that there is a neuromuscular junctions where the message of contraction is being brought by the motor neuron. When the message is received by the sarcolemma, the neurotransmitter inside the sarcolemma got the message, and they move inside the T tubules and reaches to the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and when they reaches there, the calcium outflow occurs. The level of the calcium inside the cytosol increases. This leads to the formation of a complex which is called as calcium troponin complex. When this complexes increases in size, they slightly pull apart the tropomyosin, which releases the binding site over the actin. immediately the head of the myosin got attached with the actin. This is called bridge formation. When the bridge forms, the ATP is hydrolyzed into ADP. A P molecule is utilized by the myosin and the head move apart. This is called contraction. And during the relaxation, another ADP is hydrolyzed and the phosphate energy is being used by the myosin and the cross bridge break. And this formation of and the breaking of the cross bridge continuously occurs during the contraction, and the muscles contracted finally. So if you see the whole diagram, this is the tropomyosin, this is the actin, and this is the myosin, and this tropomyosin is covering the actin molecule, and here the tropomyosin, here is the myosin head. When the calcium troponin complex form, it releases the site of the binding site or bridge forming site. It immediately attach with it using ATP, contracted like that, move like that, and when contracted, another ATP is utilized and move it back. This movement, contraction, relaxation, or breaking and forming of cross bridges continues, and the muscles is finally contracted. So this is the sliding filament model. Hope you understand it well. If you have any question, you can ask in feedback, and please continuously watch this channel and encourage us, and inshallah we will form some new videos for yourself. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.